again, I'll go back to my earlier answer. It doesn't matter until he's out there. So if he's out there, he's pretty good. So, but if he's not out there, we play with the guys we have, and we've got enough. We've won the last 6 games without him, 5-6 games. So we have enough, but you play with the guys who are healthy, and you go. So we'll see what happens.
Final question, right side in the back, Dan.
Okay. Dan Devine, The Ringer. To that point about having enough, you went, I think, 11 or 12 deep pretty early in the game. But some of those lineups in the beginning of second quarter, beginning of fourth quarter, kind of fits and starts you maybe because of DeMarcus coming back. What did you see out of your depth today? Do you feel confident that this is another series where you can and will need to play a lot of guys?
Yeah, our bench was great. You know, Jonas hit a couple threes. Quinn Cook came in, did a nice job. And, you know, the way we've played our bench, since Kevin and DeMarcus have been out, we play a lot of guys, but they don't play big minutes. So we're trying to find combinations. We're trying to find guys who can step out on the floor for a few minutes, make a shot, make a play. And I thought the bench did a fantastic job tonight. They were really good. They kept us in the game. But again, give credit to Toronto. They played a great game. They made a lot of shots, difficult shots. And our transition defense and turnovers, that stuff, it's really hard to overcome, especially on the road. So we got to get better with that. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, so this is the 5th time the Warriors have trailed within a series under Steve Kerr. But here's the good news if you're a Warriors fan. Remember, they never trailed in the 2016 finals against the Cavs, but in the previous 4 instances when they trailed in a series under Kerr, they came back to win the series. They got a ton of experience on that side. The Raptors, not as much, but Nick Nurse has to be a very happy man after winning Game 1. Here he is at the podium. Let's actually go to Marc Gasol right now. He's at the podium.
ESPN. I think people who don't know Pascal Siakam's game might have been a little bit surprised to see him score 32 points in his first ever NBA Finals appearance. What was it about who he is and what he's got that allowed him to perform on this stage that well?
He does a great job of attacking those gaps, using his body, attacking the angles that the defense is giving you. He can go both ways. I just like when he plays that aggressive.
But given his improbable background and his lack of experience in this game,
that's not important. Like you playing a game of basketball, you know, whatever happened in the past happened. You know, I think having the mindset of going for it and knowing that it's going to be okay. Your teammates have your back. Your teammates believe in you. That's all that matters, and he knows that.
4 rows back in the middle to Kayla.
Mark, Kayla Gray, TSN. I mean, you've always been one to look for an extra pass, but in this game, you're a little bit more comfortable with going for that 3, and a lot of the other guys as well. Was there something that opened up for you guys? Maybe extra passes that opened things up in terms of good looks? It seemed as though that worked for you guys on offense.
Well, they were blitzing Kawhi on a pick and roll and allowing the middle of the floor open, or they were switching early on the offense, and we did a good job of moving that ball and finding. I still think we can do a better job on it, but that was good enough. I still think that we can do a much better job defensively than we did tonight on stretches. I thought the second half we improved our rebounding, and we didn't allow, I think, as many second chance points as we did in the first half. So overall, happy.
Left side, front row, Steve.
Steve Ashburn at NBA.com.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr labeled them as dare shots, opportunities you had where they didn't rotate to you and you had basically uncontested shots. Do they feel like you're being dared to make those kind of shots? And how does making those versus not making those early in a game affect your game as it goes on?
If you open, you got to shoot them. They're not there. Like you open, you shoot them. And then we go from there. If they go in, great. If not, you keep taking them with confidence.
Right side, 5th row, Dan.
Hey, Mark.
Hi.
Dan Wecke with the Los Angeles Times. You've played a lot of big games in your career, but you've never been on this stage. Were there moments tonight where you were able, even for a blink, able to reflect and be like, I'm in the NBA Finals? And what was that like personally for you to be able to be on this stage?
No, my brain doesn't function that way. You out there, you're playing basketball like you did your whole life, and this kind of where it's the most fun. You got to lock in, not allow. When they make a couple of shots, tough shots or mistakes that you make defensively, kind of rattle you a little bit and frustrate you. You gotta stay poised during the whole game, so your brain can't go anywhere else but every possession.
Last question on the left side, fourth row. Michael.
Nice.
Michael Grange from Sportsnet. What you said when you notice early that they are going to be very aggressive, trapping, sending a second defender at Kawhi. How does your brain function at that point? What signal gets sent to you?
Well, if you watch.
You're watching NBA on the Mic on ESPN2. Plenty of post-game coverage to come. Right now, Marc Gasol at the podium.
CJ, so we assumed that there was a chance that we were going to blitz Kawhi. So we were, understanding the spacing that we were going to have and what kind of shots were going to be open, what kind of rotations that we're going to do. Now, we got to still improve in some areas and spacing and moving out of that. But overall, I thought we did a decent job.
Were you conscious of trying, when they did switch, trying to take a smaller guy down to the rim a little bit more than you have previously in the playoffs?
Yeah, and I thought that the guys did a good job of finding me in the post. The 2 or 3 times that I went down there, and it went well.
Thank you, Mark.
Yep.
All right, welcome to NBA on the Mic on ESPN2 to Bill Cream alongside Ryan Hollins. I mean, it's a bit of a surprise for some people because we didn't really know coming into this series what to expect from the Toronto Raptors. Would they be overwhelmed? Would they not be? But they got it done. And in case you missed any of the action, let's get you caught up on how the Toronto Raptors did this and stunned the Golden State Warriors in Game 1 of these series. Let me tell you something. The city of Toronto, it is on fire right now. Game 1. We're going to pick it up in the third quarter. And it's Steph Curry turning it over. That's Kawhi, and he hooks up with Pascal Siakam out of the game.
Oh, man, he was excellent tonight. Running the floor, getting in transition, attacking the rim.
And then it's Curry. Shot deflected. Siakam just going to lay it in. Give 32 in the game. Siakam, a huge third quarter. 14 points on 6 of 6 shooting. Under a minute to go in the quarter. Raptors by 4. Kawhi kicking it out.
Good job there from Kawhi, just getting off the basketball. It wasn't perfect, but they knew and he trusted in his teammates, and they delivered.
Fourth quarter, Raptors up 5. Again in transition. Again, Siakam. They're up by 7. A minute later, Siakam.
Oh, he was relentless
all
night long,
now. Look at that shot, though.
That's ridiculous. Oh, he couldn't even see the rim.
That's when you know you're feeling it. Maybe a bit of luck, too. And then Danny Green. How big was this for Toronto, getting Danny Green back in here?
Yeah, no, he had really been in a shooting slump. But you see that Pascal Siakam again, running the floor, pushing and giving up with the big pass.
Kawhi sees Kevon Looney. You got to take it.
You know what? It wasn't a perfect game for Kawhi Leonard, but I don't want to call that a dagger, but huge shot right there.
Then the Raptors just trying to pull away to here. Fred, listen, the Raptors have been getting this bounce throughout the playoffs. Let's call a spade a spade. And then it is Kyle Lowry, deep.
Hats off to the Raptors. It wasn't pretty, but they made timely shots all night long, and you've got to do that if you want to beat a Golden State.
The Toronto Raptors taking game 1, 118-109. The moment definitely not too big for them. Steph Curry finishing with 34 points. Klay Thompson finishing with 21 and 5, and here he is at the podium.
Other questions? Second row here on the left to Mark.
Clay, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Steve mentioned that you guys are not that familiar with the Raptors. You don't see them a lot. How surprising was what Siakam's athleticism enabled him to do in transition tonight?
I mean, he's very long and athletic. He's one of the better finishers in the paint in the game. So I know we'll step up with the challenge on Sunday to limit his opportunities, which a lot of them came in transition because he was sprinting the floor. But yeah, we're not very familiar with this team, but that's no excuse. You know, it's still got to come out here, and our goal was to get one, and it's still on the table for us. So I know we'll respond like the champions we are.
Left side, fifth row, to Rash.
Clay, right here on the aisle. Arash Madani with Sportsnet. You guys, your DNA as a team is to ignite with big runs, points in bunches. You weren't able to do that tonight at any stretch. Why do you think that may have been?
I mean, we cut it to 3 with about 7 minutes left, or 8, 9 minutes left, whatever it was. And, give their defense credit. We didn't get too many transition opportunities. And we're our best when we're running and playing with this type of randomness that kind of has teams scrambling. And it was there a little bit tonight. But like I said before, our goal was to get 1. So we got some tape now, and we'll go to the drawing board, and we'll come back and be much better on Sunday.
Any other questions? Thank you, Clay.
Kyle, how important was it for you guys to come out and set the tone in this series?
We just protecting home court. That was the biggest thing for us, was coming out and protecting home court. Understanding that, it's a long road ahead, but protecting home court is a big thing for us right now.
You ever hear the building like it was tonight?
No. It was pretty crazy in there tonight. We got the best fans in the NBA, and they're just showing it every single night, and we really appreciate it.
Kyle, we didn't see Golden State go on one of their trademark runs tonight. What was the key to holding them off like that?
I mean, they played, a good game. We just, stayed with it, stayed with the course, stayed with the game plan. We made sure we got shots up, didn't rush, we didn't have that many turnovers, I don't think. And just stay patient. Just stay patient and play the game.
Kyle, running around against Steph Curry, does it take a lot of offensively out of your game? Because I know you had a brilliant defensive game and overall game, but offensively, do you feel tired?
No. I mean, just, it was a game for me to, other guys stepped up. Pascal had a great game. I missed some open looks early. Chasing Steph is always going to be tough, but that's part of the job.
What about the double team strategy that they use against Kawhi Leonard? How can you explain how effective you guys were against it?
They did their game plan. That was their game plan. We moved and cut, and we got open looks and we made some shots.
What impressed you most about what Pascal was able to do tonight, especially against such a great defender, primarily in Draymond?
He stayed in his rhythm. He stayed in his groove. He stayed in his attack mode. He didn't settle. Draymond is a great defender. Pascal just came out and kept using his speed and his length and finishing and being athletic. So he did a good job tonight.
Pascal's a guy who's played organized basketball for 7 years. How do you explain 7 years later he's doing that in Game 1 of the NBA Finals?
Hard work. Hard work and dedication and knowing what type of talent that he has. Never settling for nothing but being the best basketball player he can be.
When you've seen him perform all year, do you always see a breakout performance like this in the biggest moments?
I mean, he just plays hard and he just, takes advantage of the opportunity. And tonight was one of the nights where, Kawhi was getting doubled. They put a couple bodies on me and he just kind of filled in some good spots and he made some shots and he was 14 for 17. It's a good game.
Any type of adjustment you feel you guys need to do in order to win Game 2?
We'll watch some film, and there's always a chance we always can get better. So that's the thing. We got to continue to get better and not be satisfied.
Kyle, when you get everybody going like you did tonight, obviously the double team Kawhi, when you get contributions from other players off the bench and yourself with a strong game, just how dangerous can this team be?
We could be really dangerous. I missed some shots tonight. I didn't shoot great, but we missed some threes and we made some threes. But with Kawhi, he's doing a good job of facilitating when he's getting double teamed.
As a leader of this team, how do you kind of take them into Game 2 now?
Get better tomorrow, watch the film, get better Saturday, and just stay with the same approach and being aggressive, being assertive, and understanding that we got to continue to protect home court. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Kyle.
You heard Kyle there talking about home court. The Raptors improving to 9-2 at home during the playoffs. Toronto outscoring their opponents by nearly 12 points at home during the postseason. The Raptors have won 6 straight in the North. A big one in Game 1. Here is Nick Nurse from earlier tonight.
I guess you really didn't have to worry about how your young guys, Pascal and Freddie, would handle the enormity of the moment. They're both, how do you think they played?
They were both really good, especially obviously Pascal had a big offensive night. I thought he played with really good composure, right? He got to his spots and got on balance and was patient. And when he needed to go quick and get around him, he did as well. And he had a couple couple of real tough ones go in for him as well. But Freddie did a good job. Freddie worked hard defensively, played a lot of minutes on Curry, and I know Curry had 34, but Freddie made him work for him.
All right, let's move on to Draymond Green, who had a triple-double in this contest. He's live at the podium.
And I will, but, he had a great game. But that's on me.
Given that it was his first finals game, did it surprise you that he was so aggressive?
No. Different people react differently in different situations. So, no, I don't. But like I said, I got to do a better job of taking them out the game.
Left side, row 2 to Mark.
Draymond, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. You know the league so well, and Siakam's a guy who sort of came quickly from Africa, hadn't played the game very long. What kind of improvement did he show tonight from other times that you've seen him in an NBA game?
Really the only time I've ever really played him was last year. I played him the second time we played him this year. I probably played 16 minutes or something like that. I was just coming back from injury. You got to take your hat off to him. Regardless of this game, you still have to take your hat off to him, even before this game, of what he's been able to accomplish this year. He's become a guy. And so, you got to – he put a lot of work in to get there, and I respect that. But like I said, I got to take him out of this series, and that's on me.
Sixth row on the right side.
Robert Littal, BSO. Defensively, you guys were very aggressive with Kawhi Leonard, but that did open up some other things for the others on the Raptors. What are some things that you feel that you guys can do better in Game 2 defensively to kind of shut down the others beyond Kawhi?
I think we got to do a better job early on. Like, we gave Siakam a couple wide open threes. We gave Gasol wide open threes, and, there was no rotation. And so, you get guys those type of shots, they get comfortable, and it's a different beast. So I think we did a good job on Kawhi. We got to keep that up, but we have to do a better job on everybody else as well. So, our rotations got to be better. We got to fly around a little bit more, and we got to stop them from getting out in transition.
Left side, front row.
Steve Ashburn on NBA.com. What effect, if any, did it have that this series started on the road and the atmosphere out there? And I'm wondering also, what is it about your team that if it's the playoffs, sooner or later you guys take care of your business on the road?
I think, it's obviously a different feel. We've always started the finals at home, but we're relishing this opportunity. At the end of the day, you got to come on the road and win one. Thanks. That's still the mission. We got to win one game on the road, and I like where we are. We didn't play very well tonight at all. And, we still had a chance the entire game. It was a great atmosphere. Not that this is a team, a city, a country that hasn't seen the finals ever here. So, we expect it to be a great atmosphere, and it was. But we can still play better, and I know we will.
Left side on the outside to Tim.
Tim Calcon, The Athletic, kind of picking up on that. Draymond, obviously they're very impressive both ways, but did you feel like you guys might have not figured some things out, but worked some things out as this game went along? Did you feel better at the end than you did at the beginning?
Yeah, number one, we got a little conditioning back. Start that game, it was a bit rough after 9-10 days off. But, I think we just got a better feel for them. Like I said, this is a team that we really haven't played. The first time we played them, Steph or myself didn't play. Second time we played them, Kawhi didn't play. So this is essentially our first time playing this team. Now that we got a feel for them, we got a tape to watch. We know what we can do better. I like where we're at, especially, like I said, the way the game went tonight. We always had a chance, and we didn't play very well at all. So, you leave this game feeling as good as you possibly can feel, knowing that, we lost, but I think we figured some things out, and we'll be better next game.
Left side, midway in the back, Mark.
Hey, Draymond, Mark Medina, Bay Area News Group. Draymond, you've often mentioned in the past when things aren't going your way as a team that Kevin can often, be the ultimate trump card. What things were difficult specifically without him tonight?
I think, number one, we turned the ball over 17 times. They got 17 points off those turnovers. One of the keys coming into the game was to stop them in transition. You turn the ball over that many times, they're going to get out in transition. So, yeah, you usually do have Kevin there to throw the ball to, but I don't necessarily think the problem was our offense outside of the turnovers. We just got to be better all around the floor, and especially on the defensive end. And that starts with me. We'll be better.
Sorry, Draymond. Left side in the back.
Hey, Draymond. Just wanted you to talk a little bit about that post-game scuffle between you and Drake.
You got a question about basketball? It wasn't really a scuffle because I didn't hit him and he didn't hit me, or I didn't push him or he didn't push me. We talked. We barked a little bit, but I wouldn't necessarily consider that a scuffle. Not really what I personally would consider a scuffle.
Thank you, Draymond.
So Draymond Green joining some elite company with his 5th triple-double of the postseason. Only Magic, Oscar, and Wilt have done that in a single postseason. This is only the 2nd time the Warriors have lost when Green has recorded a triple-double. And we were talking about that off camera, too, that he put up those numbers. Draymond, you can see the veteran presence there from him in his answers. He's not worried. He talked about shutting down Pascal. That almost seems like a challenge for him now, that he said he's become a guy. He's worked hard to become that guy, but I got to take care of him.
Yeah, I heard a lot of patience there, but I also heard a lot of arrogance. Talking about the conditioning not being up to par. You're in the NBA Finals. There's no excuse for you not being able to run, hit, compete. They got away with murder against the Portland in that last series. They swept them, and they came out and just lollygagged through the first couple quarters, and they turned it on and beat a Portland team that honestly wasn't that good. And this is a Toronto team that just came from war. They played against the Milwaukee Bucks, who pound for pound were arguably one of the top teams in the league. They're physical, they defended, and they just knocked them off. So this is a team that you lose respect for, and they come out and beat you in game one.
It's interesting because you heard Steve Kerr talk about it, you heard Draymond talk about it, Klay talked about it. They're kind of unfamiliar with the Toronto Raptors in a sense, right? Draymond said one of those games he only played about 16 minutes. Is that part of it too, or is it one of those situations that maybe they just took it a little lightly, knowing that they can turn it on whenever they want, really?
Well, the one thing that's nice in terms of Draymond, he took accountability onto himself, and he said, I'm going to have to shut him down. I'm going to have to take him serious. But they were playing the scouting report. They weren't active. They didn't have live feet. What do I mean by that? The scheme was force Pascal Siakam to his left hand, sag off him, give him shots, late contest. You saw one three that he knocked down. There was this stunt and recover where they didn't really guard him, just gave him a wide open shot. Well, he beat you. He beat you every single time tonight. In fact, he hit 11 straight shots, shot 80% from the field. So at some point in time, you got to get in your mind, go guard him.
Yeah, he's going to have to. There's no doubt about that. We saw Boogie Cousins in limited minutes in this contest. I'm going to get your take in a second. But first, let's hear from Boogie after the game.
Feel to be out there.
So good.
Every teammate we've asked about you, and despite the loss, they smile that you're back out on the court. What was the biggest joy for you?
Say that one more time.
All the teammates that we ask about you playing, they just have a big smile on their face. They enjoyed being out there. What was the joy like for you just to get back on the court?
It felt good. Felt good to be a part of that energy tonight. I've said it before. I say it again. I don't take any of these moments for granted. So to be out there on the floor tonight playing in this atmosphere, it was an incredible feeling. I'm extremely happy to be a part of it, and I enjoyed the moment.
Are you sore yet?
No, I'm not at all.
Good.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'd like to have gotten a win, but is this a stepping stone for you to take into game two?
I guess you could say that. We all could have done a better job tonight, and with our performance. But we'll go back to the drawing board, look at our mistakes, and we'll come out ready to play game two.
If you know your minutes are going to be limited, just as you work your way back in, what ways are you looking to make an impact, even in just that short amount of time?
Just come in and play the right way. That's what I try to do every time I step on the floor. So, see what happens.
Just play basketball.
Marcus, we got to see you open it up and really run up and down the court. Did you have any twinges or anything? Are you feeling good?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good.
You'd be dying to tell us if you did anyways, right?
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Good.
All right, plenty more coverage coming up on NBA at the mic. We will get to different players as they come along. For Boogie Cousins, though, he played 8 minutes, 4 seconds, 3 points, 2 steals, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, I should say. How did you assess his game in that limited time?
You know what, man? This is a former teammate of mine, a great guy. I couldn't be happier just first off to just see him on the floor and that he actually fought back to be in this series. I didn't think he was perfect, by no means great, but thought it was good just to get him on the floor. And when you're coming back from an injury, from an Achilles, from a quad pull, where you're not sure if you're going to play basketball again, sometimes just being solid is good enough for Boogie Cousins.
He wasn't a liability. I think that would be the key, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a team that plays big. You know, you got Marc Gasol, you got Pascal Siakam eating up the paint. So it's going to either be Andrew Bogut or Cousins that's going to be needed to stop the Raptors from attacking the rim.
And we saw Steve Kerr praise his bench. And we used a lot of guys, and they played really well. But at the same time, there's been that talk about KD. And these might be better without KD. Well, we saw it tonight. They're not better without KD because they could have used him on this night.
Well, obviously, beyond the offense, what KD really provides is shot blocking and length at the rim. So when you got a guy like Pascal Siakam who's attacking the rim relentlessly, you can go over and help. You got a guy by the name of Kawhi Leonard. You can play him straight up, and you don't have to send as many bodies over to help. So that's the diversity that Kevin Durant gives you. So, beyond the offense, they really missed him in the paint tonight.
And we haven't talked about Kawhi Leonard yet, which is kind of crazy because we usually start by talking about Kawhi Leonard, but let's get into him. Draymond talked about it in his postgamer that they did a good job on him. They felt they did a good job. We did a good job there. We got to get better with everybody else. But what did you think? How did they limit Kawhi?
Nabi, we talked about this earlier. True sign of a superstar. We look up, we say it wasn't a perfect game. He goes out and scores 23 points. It weren't great passes. This wasn't a triple-double type performance, but he did just enough to get his teammates involved. And you know what? He was an impact player tonight. So I thought it was a consistent effort. I'm a little worried if he's injured or not, or if there's anything more going on there. But I thought it was a very solid performance by Kawhi. And you saw the trust he had in his teammates. There are times where normally he'd go one-on-one, and he was like, hey, guys, swing the ball, keep moving it, play within ourselves. So big performance from Kawhi.
And it's one of those things for the Toronto Raptors and that organization to know that they could win that game with Kawhi maybe not being at his best for, maybe the first time in these playoffs. Pretty impressive. All right, plenty more coverage coming up. NBA at the mic. Nabil and Ryan with you. We're going to talk some more ball. The Toronto Raptors.